Hello, and welcome to the AMSA PUMS podcast. We're thrilled to have you here. Today, we are joined by our AMSA President and Vice President for the year 2024-2025, Sophia and Utkarsh. Hello, guys.
Hi
Would you
there.
like to introduce yourselves, let our audience know more about you?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Sophia. I am half Polish, half Greek, and I grew up in the States. And this year I'm serving as AMSA president.
Hello, everyone. My name is Utkarsh. I'm currently in the fifth year of 6MD program. I'm originally Indian, but I reside in UAE, and I'm currently serving as the Vice President of AMSA at PUMS.
Awesome. So briefly, for maybe the first years who weren't able to attend orientation, or if somebody doesn't know, what exactly is AMSA?
So AMSA stands for the American Medical Students Association, and it's actually a global organization for medical students. So anyone can be a part of it and learn about advancing medical education, advocacy, and creating a sense of community. Here at PUMS, that's our main goal, to create a resource and create a community for students who have goals to go to the U.S. for residency.
And I know AMSA has been an organization of PUMS for a very long time, but for this year specifically, what should people look out for? What kind of events are we thinking about having this year?
So AMSA PUMS has basically 6 committees which work on different aspects of a medical journey, and then some of them are like medical education, professional development, wellness and student life, public health, volunteering, and each committee plays a pivotal role in shaping various facets of medical journey and enriching students' experience, and from the first day of medical school throughout their careers. It's sort of to foster the clinical skills and advocating for public health, building leaderships, and these sorts of things. Some of the events to look out for in the upcoming semesters are the marathon events, which we already had one of them. The half marathon, there's going to be a full marathon soon in April, I think. Some other important events are the NBME events, the Step 1 events. Our medical education committee works sort of to teach you guys how NBME works and how Step 1 or the whole journey itself works out.
Yeah, so alongside that, I know we'll talk about it a bit later, but our medical education committee has a peer mentorship program. So we encourage any first years, even second years, to sign up for the peer mentorship program. It's still ongoing. It's on a rolling basis. So we at AMSA, we match you with an upper year student who can help advise you in some of your classes, not just your NBME preparation. We're also looking to have some new events this year. For example, collaboration with the dorms for an Only Murders in the Building kind of event. And we're fostering a new collaboration with the U.S. Army base to have the medical officer there talk to our students, and as well as do a Thanksgiving event.
It's actually crazy, all these events in just a very short amount of time. I wanted to talk more about our AMSA convention that we were working on. What are we thinking of having it? What should people look out for? What are we expecting? I know it's second annual, but what are we thinking of having for the second time around?
Yeah, so a brief history is the Jagielloński University in Krakow, their AMSA chapter started this AMSA Poland convention with the goal to bring AMSA chapters from around Poland together for this conference. And we're all in the same boat as international medical students in Poland with goals to go to the US. So it was a great opportunity to network. So at PUMS, we want to bring it back again. We're hoping to have it around the end of March, beginning of April. We are waiting for our NBMEs to be finalized so we can find a date that works for everyone. And there will also be a research portion at this conference. UT can talk more about it.
Yeah, so we are going to be collaborating with ESRA, which is the English research group in our university. And we're going to give every person that comes, whoever joins the conference, to give them an opportunity to present their papers, case reports, or publications, or howsoever it may be. And we'll also be doing a bunch of events on the side as well. Like we're going to be using the Medical Simulation Center, which is actually one of a kind in all of Poland, actually. So we're going to be using our state-of-the-art facilities to do some different simulations along with our doctors in there and the visiting students. We'll have some social nights. We have a really good nightlife out here in Poznan, so we will be having some good time as well, and not just all convention.
That
So
we do. So actually, if you're listening to this, look out for the next episode. It's going to be with the Ezra president, and they'll tell you more about research, how to get into that and stuff, especially if you're first year, you don't know how to get into that, and maybe what are the benefits. And then you'll have an opportunity to maybe present whatever you work on at the conference. But Sophia, you were also mentioning about the AMSA mentorship program. So what, so as a first year student, if you're like, just joined in, you're thinking maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't join, what benefits does this mentorship program bring to first year students, do you think?
I think even if you're on the fence, sign up. You'll get matched with a mentor. And the real benefit is to help navigate some of the nitpicky processes here at PUMS, especially for students out of high school who haven't been to university before. There's some technicalities that you maybe don't know how to do, and your mentor can help you with that. Or there's a way that we can advise you, those of us who have an undergrad degree or those of us who have been here for a couple years, about the best way to study for a certain class and ultimately make your life easier. Because I'm sure all of us can go back and be like, I wish I studied this way for this test, or
Do that.
so especially at PUMS, we can really, on a one-to-one basis, give you the tips and tricks that we wish we knew. And I think most of us here benefited from the peer mentorship program when we were in first year as well. So we're looking forward to pay it forward and, just make everyone's life easier.
Yeah, especially if you're an international student, you come here, don't know anyone, highly recommend. I was a mentor last year. It was a really great pleasure to be able to help people. Everybody here is just really willing to just put all their energy into helping your first years, and then even your younger students, no matter what year, just pass it on, kind of be able to give back to the community no matter where.
That's what we are trying to do with AMSA this year as well. UT and I were on the volunteering committee last year from AMSA, and we created new events in order for PUM students who are international and sometimes a little isolated to try to engage more with the Poznań community. We did this with our marathon volunteering, soup kitchen, and all these events we're trying to push forward is to hope that we can get out of our little bubble here and connect with other students in other years and other opportunities outside of PUMS.
especially since, as a personal experience, when you come from just straight out of high school to a completely new, different country and a place with different people, so much diversity, you're bound to get a cultural shock, which I think almost most of us have had of it. And it is difficult to cope up with it. So, and it's not just life in general, it's also studies, because the transition from high school to university life is completely different. Your hours are different, your study style completely changes. I used to be one of the person who uses books all the time, and suddenly now I'm like, oh, I have to use an iPad now, okay? Because I can the information. There's too many things. There's a
You
lot of
became an iPad kid suddenly.
I became a iPad kid in the end, but I am also quite grateful to it because I realized that this is how I have to study now, and this is how. Well, maybe not for everyone, but like for most part of it, it does work out, and like everyone has a different style, so it's people really need to figure it out. That's why people like us who mentor our juniors and tell them different advice, and this is how it helps them.
It's actually a really good first year advice to whoever is listening. Figure out how you study and figure it out early. That's going to help you immensely. I don't know if you guys have any other tips for freshmen, but that's a really good one.
I didn't mention earlier, but I'm in the 405 advanced MD program. So I'm almost at the end of the road, and I had 4 years of undergrad to kind of figure out my study style, but it's still changed in university. I was in PUMS. I was using an iPad in undergrad, but how I used my iPad in middle school, in medical school, changed completely now. So I think for first years out there, try out different things that work for you for different subjects, for example. And then if you find something that it's working the best, stick with it. Like I didn't end up using my iPad for anatomy until probably February. And I was like, wow, I should have been doing my notes a little differently. For example, for anatomy, what I did is if I had my PDF of my book on my iPad, and then I could annotate it based off of what the professors were teaching in class. And that way, you can also write by hand, but you all have all your notes on your iPad that you can then use for your block tests, for example.
That's actually a really smart way to do it. UT, do you have any other really good advice for first years?
Someone once told me this: life is only as complicated as you make it to be. So keep it chill.
Wise words. Wise words.
So things can be overwhelming. Like I know it's going to be overwhelming, but like at the end of the day, we all make it through, and we shouldn't don't be disheartened by a lot of things because things are different, and yeah, we just have to work with it, and like that's what makes us human, I guess.
Yeah. And now that NBMEs are back.
Yes, you have to be locked in.
Yeah, locked and loaded.
I was just going to say, for those first years who don't know, there hadn't been NBMEs for a while at our school, and they're back as of last year. So us in ARPA years, we've only taken one NBME, the psychiatry one. So again, the peer mentorship program, someone who's above you, they can give advice of the NBMEs that they took last year. So if some students can't really give advice on NBMEs, that's why, because it's actually new as of last year, and lots of us are still getting the ropes on how to study for these US-based exams.
That's very true. Stay tuned because we will be having an episode about NBME specifically. We have a few students who had to go through 5 NBMEs last year. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, so these students have a lot of tips and tricks for first years. And they are willing to share with us, thankfully. So stay tuned for that. Any other love stories, maybe, for our listeners over here?
Words. It's quite a hard thing to say, actually.
As first years, enjoy your time in first year. You're in a new city, surrounded by new friends. So please enjoy your time. But when it comes time to buckle down for those NBMEs, definitely, create study groups, talk to people so we can give advice on how we do it. Also, first year, second year, these are great times to be involved in clubs. You don't need to decide which organization or club you want to be a part of, but try to go to as many events as possible. Definitely come to our AMSA event, but, any kind of passion you might have, shadowing, whatever it may be, attending events through EPSU and through our school. Our school has created EPSU and this English program student union, and it's really united our English students and created a sense of community where you can meet new people and network just within our school. So I would definitely say in first year to go to those events, check out the EPSU calendar, what's happening, and then
Yeah.
Something else I would also add: don't be shy to approach your seniors, because that's what I did. I was pretty shy. Had some really, really stupid, dumb questions, which I thought, oh, that's quite stupid. I'm just gonna look.
I should know this already.
That's not really, but trust me, your dumb question might actually be a very good question. So like, do approach.
Yes.
Do not hesitate. We have a very friendly and open society over here, and everyone helps out. That's one thing I was really grateful for at PUMS, actually, that it took me a while to realize, like, wow, okay, everyone is here to help.
Everyone's willing to help. Yeah. That's actually something very true. When we first came here, it was just like shocking the amount of people who are just willing to go out of their way and tell you.
2020, so that was peak COVID time, and I was a bit baffled by everything. I was like, I don't have any resource, nothing, and I just approached one of the seniors, and I got to know the whole roadmap, and I was like, okay, so
Uh,
wasn't hard. I just had to ask someone. So lovely.
Basically, yeah. So, yeah, thank you for joining. And we're looking forward to having all the events this year. And thanks for tuning in. Until next time, bye bye.